The final thing then for me to do is to set you the task that I'd like you to do for the rest of this session. And if you don't finish it, just to finish off almost like the homework. Your summer task then is to choose one component of fitness and one fitness test. So for example, you might choose cardiovascular endurance and you might choose the 12-minute Cooper run. Ideally, however, what I want you to do is choose one that you're not really sure about. So if you know really well how to set up and what the protocols are for that 12-minute Cooper run, then don't choose that one. Choose something that you're a little bit less au fait with and that you would struggle to set up if you were asked to. So this is all about you sort of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone here. What I'd like you to do, once you've chosen that component of fitness and that fitness test, I'd like you to write out in detail the protocol for that fitness test. So basically, you should be able to set up that test and conduct it when you come back to school in the autumn term. So you will need to know what equipment you need. So when you come down, I'll be able to point you in the right direction as to where you get that equipment from. You need to know what the appropriate measurements are. So how long do you have to measure out? Where do you need to put your cones? If you've got to set up something like the Illinois agility test, you obviously need to know distances both across and lengthways and in between the central cones. So there's quite a lot you need to do in terms of measurements. You need to know exactly how it is set up, so where those things would go. You need to know what the participant needs to do. So you need to be able to explain to everybody else what they have to do and what they have to record as a result of whatever they have done. Okay. The other part of this task is to make sure that you put together an appropriate warm-up. So before we take part in these fitness tests, we obviously want to make sure that we're warm so that we do not have an injury. We also want to make sure that we perform to the best of our ability. So remember that a warm-up needs to have 3 components. You need a pulse raiser, so get that heart rate up. You need some dynamic stretching, so stretching on the move. And a skills section. So obviously in a game-based sport, you would go off and do some passing drills, some gameplay stuff. That won't work for a test. So maybe you need to do here something that relates to your particular test. So for example, in the sit-up test, it might be that you do 20 seconds of practicing the sit-up test prior to actually taking the test itself. If you're about to do an agility test, just do some agility changing direction exercises prior to actually taking the test. So you need to plan out your warm-up. What is it going to be? Make it appropriate to your test and know what you are going to do and think about how you're going to present that to everybody else. So basically, you should have 2 things planned out when you come back. That fitness test, you need to be able to set it up, you need to be able to conduct it, and you need to be able to tell everybody what they need to record. You also need to have the warm-up prior to that fitness test. So the 3 sections, the pulse raiser, getting you warm, the dynamic stretching, making sure you're stretching on the move, and that skills section, and a little bit of something that gets you prepared, ready for that test. Okay, I hope you get on okay with that. If you've got any problems, then obviously my email address was right at the beginning on that first slide, so just flick back to that. You can always email me and ask me any questions that you may have. But you need to bring that information with you on that very first lesson when you come back to school. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you, hopefully in September. Please keep up your fitness. Please keep up playing if you can. So if we're allowed to go back into playing, try and make sure that you're playing whatever sport that you actually do. And try and keep those brains ticking over between now and September. Have a lovely summer and hope to see you soon.